Committee and Senate Judiciary Committee member Ted Cruz. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
Maria, it's great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
So, okay, you've got the mask mandate ending in Texas, and now an opportunity for business all around Texas, the opportunity to operate at 100% capacity. Tell us about this and what you think about California's governor criticizing it.
Well, I think it's great news. I think Texans are ready to get back to work. Texans are eager to get back to work. I think as we look across the country, the lockdowns have proven to be a serious mistake, and they hurt millions of people. They destroyed lives. They destroyed small businesses. And people are ready to get to work. We can be smart. We can be safe. We can practice social distancing. We've taken reasonable common sense steps to slow the spread of the virus. But the answer isn't to destroy millions of jobs. And the answer isn't also to keep millions of kids home from school. And I got to say, Gavin Newsom, there's a reason the guy is facing a recall in California, that his policies were too disastrous for the liberal Democratic voters in California, because he has shut the state down. He's destroyed jobs. He's hurting kids. By the way, the kids that are being hurt the most by Democrats shutting down schools are low-income kids. They're African-American kids and Hispanic kids. The data are showing that many kids are 6 months or a year behind, and that educational harm will be with them the rest of their lives. It is wrong. You know, the Democrats like to say, follow the science. They're not following the science. The CDC says, send kids back to school. It's safe to send kids back to school. And yet you've got a whole lot of Democratic politicians that care about that money from the teachers' union bosses more than they care about the kids. Only 40% of school children in America right now are in person, in class 5 days a week. That is an outrage.
Wow.
And when you look at Democrats who don't seem to care about these kids that are being abandoned, I will say there's a reason Gavin Newsom is unhappy, because every year we see thousands and thousands of Californians fleeing California and coming to Texas, and the fact that we're open for business and they're shut down is only going to accelerate that phenomenon.
Well, I think this school conversation is so important. So let me stay on it for a moment. What is behind this, Senator? I mean, let's look at this stimulus plan. There's more money in this stimulus plan for schools. There was money in the CARES Act for schools. What did all of this money going to the schools accomplish if the teachers won't get back to work? Do you have any idea why kids are not in school, in-person learning at this point?
Well, you know, some years ago, the head of one of the big teachers' unions was asked, how come you guys don't advocate for kids? How come you don't fight for the kids? And the answer was, well, you know, kids don't pay union dues. And this is right now a very cynical thing. And frankly, it's not serving the teachers. There are teachers all across this country who are incredibly honorable, who love their kids, who went into teaching because they want to make a difference. But their union bosses have decided the best of all outcomes is to keep getting paid and not have to go into work. Well, you know, that's not in the interest of the kids who are going to school. And to see the Democrats, they literally, the head of the CDC got up and said, kids need to go to school. The science is clear. Kids need to be in school. And the Biden White House walked that back, said, no. That was not in any official capacity. That just was at a White House podium, the head of the CDC saying what the science says, because Democrats' view on the science, unfortunately, is very convenient, that they call it science if it agrees with their partisan agenda. And if it doesn't agree with their partisan agenda, never mind, don't look at it. You know, you mentioned this $1.9 trillion massive spending and pork bill. This bill, 9% of the bill is focused on health care needs and COVID. So 91% of the bill is not about fighting the pandemic. The money for schools, a lot of the money for schools in that bill is for years in the future. It's not even for right now. We have a crisis now.
Right.
But what this bill is it's a liberal wish list. It's every priority the Democrats have of paying off their political cronies. It includes, by the way, a bridge to Canada for Chuck Schumer, because apparently a bridge to Canada is how we're going to defeat COVID. and it includes what's being called the Tunnel of Love, Nancy Pelosi's Tunnel of Love, a tunnel in Silicon Valley that she wants constructed. And I get that their priority is bring home the bacon and buy votes, but this is irresponsible and it's wrong. And it's important to note, in the last year, we passed 5 bipartisan COVID relief bills. Republicans are eager to work together on getting vaccines out, on fighting the virus, on getting people back to work, on helping small businesses. And we've demonstrated we'll roll up our sleeves and work with Democrats. Joe Biden and the Democrats have said to Republicans, go jump in a lake. They don't want to work with us. They don't want to talk with us. They are going to try to ram through a partisan wish list completely unrelated to the pandemic because they got power and they don't want to waste the power. And I think that's really cynical and it's unfortunate.
Well, it is unfortunate, and I guess it tells us that the Republicans can't do anything about it. Are you going to take up this bill today in the Senate? What's the